I want to sit there. I don't want to sit there because I can't put the eggs there. Why? I can't. They're not long enough to get there. I've got my strict and all.
Langton Road.
Has voted to leave the EU after one of the closest fought
Tories made the
political
same
battles
day.
in
Boris
British
Johnson
history.
leads more than 80 pro-Brexit Conservatives, signing a letter to the Prime Minister asking him to remain in office amid growing pressure.
The value of the pound has nosed against the dollar, hitting a 30-year low as market.
Yeah, you're right.
And as
Yeah, I know it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
vote to remain,
Yeah, and?
questions are raised
Like, I run out, and I?
of the union.
Oh, you're here, are ya? Oh, well done. I'll be down in 2 minutes, alright? Right, hi everyone, and welcome back to present day. Thankfully, things have changed a little bit, haven't they? Thank Christ for that. Anyway, as you've seen already, I am currently in Zagreb, Croatia. I've come away from my everyday life in Sofia, Bulgaria, to experience Advent Zagreb. That's right, Christmas is just around the corner. So festive, isn't it? Supposedly Zagreb has some of the best Christmas markets in Europe. That remains to be seen, and don't worry, we will be heading into night time a little bit later so you can see what it looks like then. I'm now into my 7th year of full-time travel. 7? You're having a laugh, ain't ya? So I think it's quite poetic that this video is my final video, at least for the foreseeable future, before I possibly move to Poland. Or not, as the case may be. You'll finally get the resolution to that ongoing storyline later in the video. We got trams, we got pigeons, we got singers, we got plenty of unnecessary climate impacting offspring making noise in the background. Anyway, this video isn't just about one location, emphasis on the word one. For once, I'm going to be the main character. It's time for my character assassination. Watch out. Well done to me for avoiding getting hit by a tram. As you can see, there's all these little stalls everywhere. There are Christmas markets all over Zagreb, it's not just here. We'll see what we can check out a bit later. Love the trams. Just like many other European countries, there are a lot of modern ones, there are a lot of older ones. For a tram geek, it's amazing. Right, it might be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm going to have some mulled wine in a minute. But before that, just on moving to Poland, if you're an old timer, I mean an old time viewer, not an old person like me, you might remember that about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I tried to do the whole moving to Europe, settling down thing back then. But do you remember coronavirus? Honestly, you'd think they'd come up with a better name for it by now. Anyway, welcome back to Minsk. I am on my way to a rhomby-cuboctahedron-shaped library. What? And I've also just bought Russian. Classic Belarus. I think it's actually from Ukraine. And also this. It's whiskey from Belgrade. I've been stuck in Minsk now for 2 months. I want to go back. I want to get back there to continue my journey of hopefully moving back to Europe full time after 4 years now. Since this has all started, I've started to think maybe I need to start travelling again. You know, a lot of people can't travel. I'm in a fortunate position that I can, although in a limited manner. Do I continue doing that for the next couple of years or however long this takes? Moving to Europe, getting a Polish passport, moving to Serbia, honestly, I don't know if I'm ready. And honestly, I still don't think I'm ready for it. It's almost as if this lifestyle has become the addictive substance I cannot overcome. Am I meant to want to settle down? Am I meant to want to go back to something I had before? To a normal life? I don't know. And on the subject of addictive substances, it's time for some mulled wine. Brilliant. It wouldn't be Christmas without mulled wine, or glühwein, or glögi, or glög, depending on where you're from. Yum, I did have some yesterday, to be honest. Let's have it again. Buzludzha galore. Wine over there. I have red. Lovely. Oh, voila. Ah, perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, Živeli. They say that in Croatia too, right? Sort of a Serbia thing. I think I'm right. Anyway, cheers. Bottoms up. Fruity. Yeah, obviously, you know, this is a Christmas market in a touristy place. It's not going to be top tier, is it? Although I have to say, the gluggy I had in Tallinn, Estonia, a few years ago was especially orangey and spicy. You know, this kind of feels like it's a bit like red wine out of a bottle, you know. Although it is absolutely mulled wine, but I'm not sure around the quality of it. And that's actually something which, in a way, is obvious. But over the years, I've learned more and more. It's become more apparent that going to touristy places isn't for me because of the quality of things. Go to a little place in the middle of nowhere with an old granny, an abuelita, a babushka, baba, whatever, and it'll be better. But, you know, I'm not complaining. Another thing I've learned over the years is that anything good is always uphill, without fail. Here it is. It's some tunnel underneath Zagreb. Honestly, I did read about it, but I can't remember. There's something cool up there. You know, it kind of goes with the theme of this year. I don't care about the history of places, I just want to experience it. Thank the Lord for artificial lighting that just blinded me. The thing I want to see is up here. A friend of mine sent me on Instagram, therefore I'm here. This is the Grij Tunnel. And as you can see up ahead of me, we go away from the concrete to a magical Christmas wonderland, apparently. This is quite magical, isn't it? There's whale song and everything, and actually it's quite meaningful and metaphorical. We've struggled up the hill, and now to our left we have the Polar Dream. Take pride in last year's achievements, or in my case the last 6 years. Make a wish for yourself, set at least one intention for the future. It's time to move on. I think sometimes in life we can all find ourselves in situations which seem negative, full of doom and despair, and we can wonder, where is my overly dramatic light at the end of the tunnel? And we think, what do I need to do in order to get to the light at the end of the tunnel? Does it require bravery or courage? Possibly. But sometimes it just takes time. Maybe you're not ready to find that light at the end of the tunnel, and the only solution is to wait. That might sound bleak, but sometimes that is the case. Apparently you're meant to stop in the middle, as I've done, look back, and look ahead. Which, to be honest, if you didn't do that like 6 months ago, like, what world are you living in? You shouldn't wait until the 1st of January to change your life, come on. After that completely overly dramatically sentimental part, it returns to like a normal tunnel. We're gonna head outside. Up here is the 80s museum. Hang on, let me get some photos out. There you go. If you want to see more photos of it, check my Instagram out. It's a little bit like the place in Sofia I went to, detailing 80s life, this time in Croatia. There was a electric carving knife, which was exactly the same one as my mum had in the 80s, and an Amiga computer. That was my 90s. I've come up the hill to this lovely Christmassy garden park thing, and there's a moon over there. Apparently if you, what is it? Oh yeah, sit on the magical moon and your wish will come true. But as per this video, one of my life lessons is less wishing, less hoping, more doing. Things aren't going to happen if you wish for them. They happen if you get off your fat ass and do something about it. Right, before it gets dark, there's another Christmas market down here. I was down here yesterday. Oh, look at this. I didn't realise I was such a Christmas market hun until recently. I mean, I've been to some before, like I said, in Estonia, also in Berlin. I know, of course, in Germany. They are iconic. But just look at this. I'm going to become an Insta babe soon. Oh yes, there's a funicular. I forgot about that. Lazy bastard, it's not that high up. Anyway, look, there's Zagreb. At twilight. Beautiful. And you might be wondering as to my thoughts regarding Zagreb versus Belgrade. I spent a lot of time in Belgrade and Serbia as a whole, of course. Of course, this isn't the video for it, but you never know. If I do come back to YouTube in the future, maybe I'll do a Croatia series. Right, you know what's coming. It wouldn't be me without cutting the video and then inserting royalty-free Christmas music, because there's copyrighted music up here.
It's white outside and the night is cold. Everyone's lighting candles in their home.
Here's a wonderful view, kind of Zagreb. There is the cathedral over there, which unfortunately is undergoing renovation at the moment. You might be able to see scaffolding on it. You can't even get in, so unfortunately I can't show you that. Oh, it's getting cold and windy. I think we're in for a crappy night.
Got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas all around.
Look at the Tramingtons, they look beautiful at night, don't they? There's the tree over there. We've got 2023 up there. The new year is coming. And over here, we have the area where we started this video. Isn't it truly magical? Advent Zagreb. Anyway, enough of that shit. It's time for a sausage. And I ain't talking about my knob. I'm talking about a sausage that goes in my mouth. I'm digging myself a hole here, aren't I? I mean food. That big one there, sarsirom, it has cheese in it. You can see it on that end one, but I'm not doing that. Oh, okay, voila. Okay. Right, I've got the works, of course, ketchup, mayonnaise and mustard, but now the big question is, where the fuck do I sit? Because all the tables are taken. Brilliant. So in the spirit of all my old videos over the years, it's time to sit on the pavement next to a bin. Right, this will do. It's actually between two ATMs, but, you know. It's better than the one I had yesterday. I think the less meat was a good choice. So much sauce. You've got to have so much sauce on these. And no unnecessary garden products. And for pudding, I thought I'd get some frittole. Oh, voila. Which are basically like fritters, right? They're amazing. Coated in chocolate. I'm having a tramgasm. I.e. trams all over the place. Amazing. These are my new favourite thing. Apart from beautiful fluffy angels, they taste like the donuts you get on Brighton Pier in the UK, or like churro. Oh, I thought I would never have to do the bloody Spanish double R again, but here we are. You know what I mean? Like fritters. Beautiful. Okay, it's considerably later, and I've got to be honest, I'm freezing me tits off. It's almost time to leave, and I've got to say, even after only 2 nights in Zagreb, and obviously I'm only here for Christmas market-y touristy reasons, you know, I have enjoyed myself. It is a city I would like to see more of in future, and kind of going back to what I said earlier, if I compare Belgrade and Zagreb, Zagreb does feel like the bougie sister of Belgrade. But for now, it's time to go back to Sofia. Now, I have been rained on today. I do look like a drowned rat. Brilliant. And assuming I can avoid the myriad of judgmental death glares from the plethora of miserable babushkas, this should be Bulgaria's exit storyline. There's bloody pigeons everywhere. I don't want to lose another drone. Hi, hon. Yeah, in the spirit of the time travel theme of this video, among other themes, Zagreb was actually 2 weeks ago. But 1 week ago, I went to Kazanluk, central Bulgaria. I was meant to go to the Buzludzha monument, but walking along at 7:02 in the dark and cold, near Antarctic conditions, I was overcome with a sudden sense of epiphany. As in, I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Travel is done, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's completely positive. It's like an overwhelming sense of freedom that I can finally move on to different things. So with travel, yeah, I've made peace with it. I'm quite happy that I don't want to travel anymore. That might sound weird to you, but it's in my veins, and you might have noticed, unless you're stupid, that I've used travel as a metaphor for addiction throughout this video. You know, there was a time I snorted white powder up my nose just to get through the day. Drugs and travel are very different. One of them's very destructive, one of them isn't. Or is it? Because, you know, one of the things I have found, I've missed out on so much. I have become this introvert hermit person, unable to communicate with people. And I've definitely realised that I have unresolved trauma that I never dealt with when I left the UK. So if you want to know why I'm bringing this channel to an end, that is why I plan to deal with that trauma, if you know what I mean, without sounding like a Gen Z person. But the point is, it will always be part of me. It will come and go. But right now is not the time I want to be doing that. Tram spam! Hello, Angel. So, it's almost like some weird backwards paradox thing, right? I want familiarity, but this is my familiarity. Moving around, it might not be the familiarity which you would expect. So, am I going to be moving to Poland? Absolutely fucking not. The sense of freedom is spectacular. What are you looking at? Giving me death glares. You know, I don't care anymore. It's over. I can now travel using my eyes and with my memory. Tramington. Brilliant. Right, I hope you're sitting down because it's time to bring this video and this channel to a close, and you're going to be more shocked than a cringeworthy middle-aged expat couple in San Miguel de Allende. See what I did there? Shut up. So anyway, in terms of YouTube and filming, how do I feel about bringing this to a close after 6 years? Honestly, I've had mixed feelings during the course of this year, but there's a classic quote from an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, iconic. I'm going to miss you, Jean-Luc. You had such potential. But then again, all good things come to an end. YouTube has been a big part of my life for the last 6 years, and it's given me some of the best times I've ever had, but also some of the worst times, I've got to be honest. And I think when it comes to what's to come and the fact that I don't really know what I'm going to do, that's a good thing. Healthy risk. Sometimes it's good to do something new, isn't it, when we don't have an effing clue what we're doing. And it might not work. It might not be successful. It might be a disaster. In a year's time, I might come back to making YouTube videos again. Honestly, at this point, that might happen. I was sitting on the balcony yesterday. I was thinking about all the positive times and all the good times, and even so, the thing that came to my mind was that this is absolutely the right thing to do. You know, sometimes we can have a great time. We can have an enjoyable time, but ultimately, there's something more, and we have to explore that. And that's exactly what I plan to do. Brilliant! Now, as one of the killers said to Gal Weathers in the last Scream movie, your story's over, bitch! I am that bitch. It's time to leave Bulgaria. So in case I don't see ya, it's good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Catch you later. Bye.